Hi everyone, this is the CMS Conf podcast, your go-to source for everything CMS, marketing and modern web development. Each episode, we sit down with a practitioner to dig into real decisions, real trades-off and real systems. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome back to the CMS Conf podcast. I'm your host, Ania, and today we are talking about something that trips up a lot of course creators, and most probably a lot of developers building for them too. You've got a course idea, or maybe you already have a course, and now you just need to sell it and deliver it. And then you open up a browser and start researching platforms, and suddenly you have 15 tabs open, free spreadsheet of information, and somehow you still are not sure what to pick. My guest today is Mary, digital marketing specialist, online course creator, and someone who thinks about this problem from both sides, strategically and technically. She holds a Master of Science in Marketing and has been working online since 2021. She creates and sells her own email marketing courses, and she's also the organizer of WordCamp Wrocław. She will be speaking at CMS Conf later this year, and today she's giving us a little preview. Welcome, Mary. Really glad to have you here.
Hi, Ania. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we are going to start from the first question, and we are going to start with you. You work both as a specialist, helping clients with their online courses, and also you are yourself a course creator. How did you end up doing both things? And does wearing both hats change how you think about this area?
Well, so basically, as you said before, so I started in online business industry in 2021, and I started from being a blogger and the author of ebooks in a team of food and eating, basically. So very pleasant theme. But then I made a switch to doing more of a tech support for other creators and helping them from the backend to set up all the things you need to sell an online course, because it may seem easy, but in fact, well, it might be easy. It's not difficult, but the thing is that there are lots of details you need to look at. And many people are going in there and they are not aware that there are these details to look at. So I was helping them. But because I like teaching other people and I like guiding them. So basically ever since I was thinking of doing my own courses too. So it ended up that after a couple of years just working one-to-one with the clients, I also started selling my own courses.
Nice. It's very, very nice, I think, way to do so. So you could have a look from both perspective. And you are, like I mentioned in the introduction, you are going to be a speaker at CMS Conf, and your speech is called Spoilt for Choice. And I think it really nice sum ups how most people feel when are trying to pick a right platform for their online course. And from your experience, could you tell us, is that struggle real, or do people tend to just pick whatever they have heard of first?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both because, as you said before, so there are people who go to the browser, or these days they would go to ChatGPT or another AI and ask about the platforms, and they will go with the nice summary. Okay, so we have this, and AI is very often very helpful, provided that you provide them with the right information, which very often people don't have. And this is the problem, because they don't know, if they didn't start, they don't have the experience, they don't know what features are the most important and what they need to look at. But there is also the case, and this is very often the case of my clients who are coming and like, okay, Mary, we need to change something because I hate the solution I have at the moment, how they work. I just took it because I was on a course with another creator. They used that and they told, okay, use this for the courses, this for the email marketing, this for that. And they just went with that, but it's absolutely not tailored for that person. So we're looking at another solutions. And these people are in a very good position because they know what is important for them. They know what doesn't work for them. They know what they want to avoid. So this is very good. And but there are also other people who want the perfect solution from the start. And this very often may end up just postponing and waiting and procrastinating as well with starting actually selling what they want to sell.
Yes, I think it's a very nice point, and I can also share my own experience, not my personal, but I have a client and she has her own online platform. And unfortunately, I think that it was a little mistake that agency built for her website and also online platform designed for her. But the problem was that she had before no experience with online courses. She had another business, e-commerce. So she didn't know what kind of features she would like to have in the platform. They did this. I think they use their experience and so on. But in the end, the platform was not working for her at all. Of course, it was expensive. And after 8 months of working at this platform, we changed it for commercial solution because it fulfilled all of her needs. And this was the problem, that I think that it's good at the beginning when you start an online business, you are starting to sell your online courses. You don't know what are your clients' expectations. So I think in the beginning it's nice to use commercial solution, check what you like, what you don't like. And then as the second step, you can maybe design or ask someone to design your own platform. So you know what you want. And my client, for example, for her, she find out with the process that for her clients, the most important are certificates. This is the beauty business. So over there, it's the most important. And on the platform from the agency, there was one certificate she could issue. They all look the same. We could only make the simple changes, but with Tutor LMS Pro, she can design as many certificates as she wants, and now their clients are super happy about this. So for me, it was also a lesson that it's good to check what is on the market, see what you like, what you don't like, and then maybe in the next step, if you have, of course, money, if you can invest in this, something perfectly designed for you when you know what you need, what you don't need, what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. And also, there are creators who have like really large volume on courses and they still using the ready commercial solutions and they're happy about this. So this is also okay. And not everybody needs to go for the tailored solutions, right? So they also good. The thing what has changed during those 5 years when I'm in the market is that when I started, lots of mentors told that they started from selling without any platforms, without anything. And I actually did that as well. I remember selling not a course, but an online workshop, just using email. And the people who responded, I just issued them an invoice. They paid me the money and then they received the link to our Zoom meeting. And then I sent them a link to a Zoom recording in a Zoom cloud, right? So I did that without any course platform. And people asked me because I knew at that point of time, I knew how to make it and I knew the solution. And I told them why I did it this way. Because if I started building a platform, building an e-commerce modules to pay online. That would take me so much time that I wouldn't have time to actually sell and deliver the workshop. But now it has changed a little bit because people expect that the online payment will be easy. There are still people doing this. Oh, just email me and I give you the details, or just like, here is my phone number. Just send me a blik, a very popular payment method in Poland. And there are still people doing that. However, in general, what I see at the market, it has changed, and people don't trust if it's that. If you know the person, okay. But if you don't know, then if you have an online payment method which is recognizable on the market, so like PayU or Przelewy24, this is way easier, way more trustable. So this is great that there are different solutions to sell a course, and not all of them require an annual commitment. There are some which don't require even a monthly commitment, and there is no even a monthly fee. You just pay a fee when you sell something. So it's just all like commission based. So there are different solutions, and people can really choose something. And I mentioned a cost factor, which is very often very important. And especially when people start, they're like, oh, I don't want a monthly fee. I prefer to pay a commission when I start selling the course. They start selling the courses when they calculate the amount of money they pay for a commission is a way higher they would pay for a monthly fee. And there are some platforms which can do both payment models, but not necessarily. So there is, again, this point. Okay, let's change. Let's choose something different. So the choice of an online platform to sell and deliver your course, this is not just the beginner's problem. This is also a question for people who are way more advanced in their way, and they see that something is not right for them in the solutions they're using.
So maybe based on your experience, like what if someone is using a bad solution for them? I mean, because like we say, we talk about there is a lot of solution for everyone. Something else is different. Something else is important. But what if I choose not the best solution for me for selling my own courses? What can it cost me? What can I lose? What are the negative parts of choosing a wrong solution?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, the cost may be very simple. It may cost you money. For example, if you go for commission-based only, and then your business grows, which is a great stuff, we all want that. But then the commission also rises. And then when you calculate it, you may end up just paying way too much money for that. Another choice is also when you driven by cost optimization only, and you want a cheap solution. And you're like, okay, so I use WordPress and I just use free plugins for selling. I use free plugins for delivering the course, and I put that, and then you haven't, just something goes wrong, just an error in your WordPress. Hey, it all happens. It happens to everybody. It's a very common thing. Some errors are easy to fix, and some of them are like, but where is that error? And you don't know because you have lots of plugins. And then you may need someone else to support you, to do the troubleshooting for you. And if you have a person you trust and a person who knows the thing and does that, it may be just okay, and the cost may be not too high. I mean, not only the cost of money, but also your emotional cost. But it may be that you just do everything yourself, and then you don't have a person who would be able to help you because they don't know your platform. And they will need also time to, if you find someone, to see and to check what's going wrong in that one. Another thing, and it's a bad choice, and most of the platforms, they nice these days, right? They like very user friendly, but not all of them. They are user friendly, but there are those like little things which annoy people, and where it's not like very intuitive to find like next lesson, next module, and it's not very easy. And then the people don't do your course, right? The people don't do it. They don't watch the lessons. And then they don't progress with your course. And if they don't progress, they won't give you a nice review. That's first of all. They won't buy another course from you. And they won't recommend you. So this is like very bad impact for your business. And sometimes it is because it's not nice. the the visual part of the platform, but also there is no customer service and another things like this. Oh, that's another example what may cost you if you go for a solution which don't have support center and a contact. And something goes wrong, okay, you may go to ChatGPT and ask them, but if you ask them very generic question, they just give you a long list, yeah, like it happened to me recently. I asked Claude, like, what's wrong on that website? And I got like 15 things I need to check. This is not very nice. So yeah, it's obviously doable, everything, but you may need to consider the cost, meaning money, but also your time, the impact it has on your business, and also your emotional cost. Because if it stresses you out, then maybe it's not the point to go with it further.
Yes, I think there are really important things you mentioned about, and also one is related with my client I told you about, because like in the end she ended up her contract with the agency, but agency built the platform. So when something went wrong, only they could help. So this is also one of the reasons why we change for commercial solution, because tutor is quite popular. So if not me, someone else can help her. And she was not. She didn't want to work with the agency. So it was for her a good solution, because there were also other problems why that platform wasn't the best. So I think this point about support is really, really, really important. And it would be perfect if they could also speak Polish for some people, some
Yes.
maybe content creators, course creators in Poland. And I would like to also ask you one question, because like you mentioned, when you started also selling your own online courses, the world looked different. And in the last few years, we also changed as a consumer. So I also see on myself that before I was buying online courses, it was for me important that it has many lessons, it was long and really, really specific, really with many details. And now I change a bit. So now I prefer to buy online course with some mentoring session or with some group session. So I learn something from the course, online course, and then I can check in the practice if I learn it, if I understand it correctly. Because if I do just online course, I just click the lesson, done. Most of the time there were no, like, say, tasks, and even if there were some tasks, I was exercises, I was doing it, but no one was checking it. So in the end, I didn't know if it was correct or no. So now when I decide to buy a product online course, it always has to be with some contact with another person. And also nowadays AI is super popular, and we have a lot of also gurus So they sell courses about selling courses, and there are other aspects. And my question is, do you think that selling online courses still pays off?
Right. This is a very good question, and especially in the age when we debate about AI. And it's very often narrative that, okay, you can no longer share your knowledge and even your experience because there is AI, and people go to AI, they ask a question, and they will get an answer. They will get that knowledge. The issue with this is, first of all, as I mentioned before, you need to know what information you need, and you need to ask the right question to AI to get the right answer. This is like really very similar how it was with Google search. You could end up the whole day searching Google and not finding the answer to your question if you don't make the question right. And if you don't know really what you're looking for. So this is the thing. So for the course creator, my tip is always look a bit deeper, not just giving the plain knowledge on a theme, but actually solving a problem that person has. But if that person has a problem, it not necessarily means that this person can solve the problem themselves. Because if they could, they wouldn't look for solution. They wouldn't look for a solution in AI. They wouldn't look for solution in Google. They wouldn't scroll social media looking on other course creators, right? If they knew, but they don't. So you need to give them a little bit more than they think that they expect. So this is the thing. Very often, as you said, the live support, the live session, this is something people value. But there is a small but. Sometimes they are the courses, like, you make the live session, but they are like long, like 2 hours long training sessions. When this is basically like a online university, yeah? So the lecturer sits and they tell, and it's a lecture. It's not a meeting, it's a lecture. Let's name it. And then it's just the difference is that you can watch it live or you can watch it later on when it's recorded. And pretty much that's it. And people are tired with that type of thing. People want quick solutions to their problems. So from my experience, it works much better if we do something like a feedback session live, if we do Q&A session live, this type of things. So this is like very personal. This is very tailored. This is something you as a course creator, you refer to the particular situation of your client and you could talk to them. And obviously this, because the courses, they became popular because you can scale, grow, right? You can teach 10 people, you can teach hundreds, or you can teach a couple of hundred people or a couple of thousand people even at the same time, right? But when you do the live feedback sessions, no way, it's not gonna work. So you need to make small groups. The thing is that you can still use your recorded materials as a base, as a knowledge base, and then you can do the feedback session, and then you can do those small groups. Obviously, the strategy, the pricing, it has to go different than it was when there were courses type, okay, record once, and then scale, grow, right? So this is just the point when we need to look at our spreadsheets and see where this income changes and see what changes in the market. Go to people and ask them what support they need. And if they tell you that they want the live sessions, ask them further what type of live sessions, what type of support from a person you need.
Nice. I think it's really important. Always in every aspect of our life to ask a question, to know what someone needs, and then we can somehow adjust to that, because I used to buy a lot of online courses in my past, but some of them I never even open up because I think someone has a really good selling strategy. So I bought it, but somehow there was no time even to check the course. Of course, I had time, but let's say I had different priorities. And so it's good to always check and to ask, because nowadays I think just recording and selling courses, may not work. Maybe in some really specific niche, maybe, because I have one course, it's really technical. So for me, I see what someone is doing on the screen. So it's enough for me because I see if I do it right or not. So it's nice. But I don't know, in aspect of social media, I remember I had about Instagram online course, so I did it, but I tried to implement it, what I learned, but did I learn it correctly? No one knows. So I think now this support is really important, but also, like you said, it's good to check what kind of support, because for someone it would be nice to have Facebook group or live session, like you said, or live feedback, that someone is checking someone's work live. So there are many other options, and Mary, is on the market a platform for online courses, which is, let's say, number one, is the most popular one, the best one, let's say, or is it like really often it depends on the someone needs, so, and maybe there is no like the best solution, let's say, that may help many people, like, okay, you don't know what to choose, so choose this one because it is the most universal one, for example.
I still haven't found the one which would have all I would love to have. But the good thing is that most of the platforms, and I basically am mostly interested in the platforms which are based in the Polish market. So the Polish solutions. As we mentioned, the support, but also number of reasons why I'm sitting in a Polish market and using mainly those solutions. Still haven't found the perfect, having all the options, and sometimes I need to use another solution, let's say, for example, in my marketing integration tool, because there is no built-in in my marketing in a platform I'm using. Or there is another solution which is great, but doesn't have as many payments methods as I would have, etc., etc. So I still haven't found perfect, but it's not about perfection. It's about finding good enough. It's about choosing a solution which allows you to sell your course and to focus on a strategy, to focus on the things I mentioned before about doing your market research. And no matter if you just started or you started like me 5 years ago, or you started even further, you still need to do your market research because the market has changed and is changing constantly. So you need to go and ask people questions, talk to people. So this is important. And you focus on that. But coming back to the solutions, I would say that in Poland, we have a number of great Polish CMS to sell online courses. First of all, it's Publigo, and it's based, it's on WordPress engine. So this is a great thing. If people know WordPress, and very often people choose Publigo for that reason, because they know WordPress. So it's easy, right? So it's easy. And they also, through the years, they ended adding up the solutions. I remember when it was possible only to sell a course in Publigo. Now you can sell digital products, you can sell services, and you can sell physical products too. Then you have Web to Learn, another great solution. And they have number of different options than Publigo, so you can compare these two. But also Easy Tools. It's a great one, and it's very easy. And you use that for the CMS, for selling the tickets. So the cart is actually, they started from making the cart simple without all these fields and just when it's easy for people to buy, not giving them a complex forms when they want to buy something from you, just taking the data you really need for the online product. And there is also another Polish solution, also a nice one called One Koszyk, Jeden Koszyk. Also the same idea. So these are the Polish solutions, but there are also foreign solutions which are popular in Poland. There are really lots of them. And when I speak to a client, when we work together and we start or we make this transition in a business, we always sit and we talk what's important for that person. And it happens that I advise a solution which I know that is way from being perfect, but it's the right solution for that client at that moment. And we always can change that. Obviously, that change is not happen like that. It requires some work, it requires time, it requires planning, etc. But it's not forever and ever.
Yes, I really agree with your point that we have really nice Polish solution. Not long time ago, I was looking for a solution for a German market to sell ebooks, but without building a special website, let's say on WordPress and WooCommerce for that. And I was like, oh, please, I need to find Nafi or EasyCart for German market. So it wasn't that easy. I found some solution, but at the end, the client, she decided to wait a bit. But yes, I really like the Polish solution, and there is plenty of choice. So it's nice to have, because when we have one, let's say, provider, then it's, let's say, sometimes the level of the survey is going down because they don't have competitors. So they don't improve so much. So it's nice to have a lot of businesses on the market.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea. It's the choice may be difficult, then,
Yes.
but you always have a choice. And the competition thing you've mentioned is also very important because some of the platforms I mentioned, they also have, how would you call it? But it's just a website where you can just submit your ideas and
Oh,
just tell them what you don't like about the platforms, what you miss, what features you'd like them to develop. And they check if lots of people ask for that, they do that. And in terms of that, I'm just thinking that in Poland, like we have lots of solutions to sell online, the courses and the physical products too. We have lots of payments methods, which is great. And when look at other markets, it's a bit more difficult. So I think we're in a very good situation.
yes. And also, like the client I was talking about, she's not working on the Polish market. She's working on in different European country, and she said that, Ania, our clients are not, they don't have so good technological skills. That in Poland we are really good with technology, and in other countries in Europe it's not the same. So every time we do something for her website or her platform, it has to be really, really, really simple. And most of the girls, they don't even have a laptop or a tablet. They only use mobile phones. And sometimes even they have a problem to log in to their account. So it has to be simple, not too complicated, because maybe for a user from Poland, it will be too easy. But for some other people, it has to be like this. So it's always good to adjust. And maybe I think this is the thing why we have so many solutions, because we do good with technology. We want improvements. And even that customer, she's Polish, but she lives in another country, and all of her coworkers with help her with, I don't know, with building website, with online course, or with branding. All people are coming from Poland, not because she's so patriotic, but she said that in her country she couldn't find a good expert. So also good for us maybe to look for some clients abroad.
That's maybe a nice perspective, actually.
Yes, because I was really surprised, and of course I see this. That sometimes they text her like, "Oh, I cannot log in" or something, and then I check, and let's say they have a typo in the email, or they register another email address and they use another to log in. So of course they won't make it. So there are simple things, but it's good to know your clients is the most important.
Yeah. Yeah, just one more thing I would like to ask, because we
Yes.
talked about the easiness for the end client. But you've also mentioned, and I know that for the CMS Conf, there are coming lots of developers.
Yes.
My dear developers, here is the tip for it. So when you look at your solution, I know that code is great, but look at the solution for a person who is going to sell a course. So who is going to log in to the dashboard and set up all the things. So it needs to be easy and intuitive for them. But also think about the end client. So the users of the courses, the students. So they need to do that even with more ease. It has to be obvious where you log in, where you find your courses, when you check when it expires, and so on. Yeah. So there are the two things, and I think this is a big challenge for the developers for this type of solutions, because you have the one user, which is a course creator, and then you have another, the end user, who is a student, and it has to be easy for both.
Yeah, it's really a nice and I think really a needed statement for developers. Because it has to be okay. It's good to find a balance so that the work for developer is easy, but also the end product is easy for the user because they are going to do this course, not the developer. So yeah, it's good to have a balance, and really nice that you pointed it out, Mary, because I think it's something that can be really often a problem. That kind of maybe miscommunication, misunderstanding as well. So it's good to keep that in mind, and maybe always remember that it should be as easy as for like 5-year-old child to understand, but maybe kids are now really doing well with technology. So maybe for 6 or 8 years old granny, that she should be able to at least log in and play first lesson, think that they watch it and go to the next one, and maybe generate a certificate. So always maybe ask, maybe check this out with some friends, family members, if this intuitive, it works well. And
even to the beta tests, like having your clients
yeah,
and having your beta testers, and this is always a great idea. Just you give them to use your tool for free for a period of time, obviously. You ask them in exchange to give a honest feedback, like really honest, critical feedback, what doesn't work. And also what works great, what are the great features, because that's helpful for the marketing of your tool, obviously. But yeah, giving the honest feedback and to let them try on the solution you created. This is great, because very often those people who are just like try the solution, if they like it and they can have this opportunity to give the feedback and you listen to them, they will stay and they will become your advocates.
yes,
So I'm online, obviously.
yeah,
I have
really,
my
really good point.
website called
And now
websitecreatia.pl,
slowly
and
going
also quite
to an end.
on
Please, Mary,
Instagram,
tell us where
LinkedIn, a little
can
bit
our
less active on
listeners
Facebook.
find you online?
And I'm starting my YouTube channel where are few films I worked with you in corporative to put them to life eventually. Yes, there's YouTube and there's Spotify as well. Yeah, wow. There are a few places.
Mary, it was a very great conversation, really practical, useful, I hope, for all the developer as well as the course creators or future course creators. Of course, all the details about Mary you will find in the show notes. And if you would like to hear more about platform comparison and Mary's framework in person, you can come to CMSConf. It is happening later this year. All the details are at cmsconf.com. It is worth the trip.
Thank you, Ania, for having me today, for this great opportunity to tell a bit more about what I'm doing. And of course, I hope to see you all at the CMS Conf in November.
Yes, see you in Gdynia. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you in Gdynia.
That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to the CMS Conf podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to follow us and stay tuned for more. Catch you next week.